First of all, I always thought that breast cancer was a white woman's disease. I didn't know that black women got breast cancer, and that was mainly because all the promotions featured white women. So I just thought, oh, black women don't get this. And then, lo and behold, I was diagnosed with stage 3 advanced breast cancer. I thought after that I finished with the IV and the chemo that I was going to go home. I didn't know I had to take additional not over-the-counter, but prescription drugs. And I went, and it was quite expensive. And I thought to myself, okay, what do poor people do? How do women that look like me, that is less fortunate than I am, how do they make it? How do they find the money to pay for this prescription, take care of their families, cover all their finances? That must be so difficult for them. And then I was at home one morning feeling, terrible after chemotherapy treatment. Couldn't get off the bed. It was terrible. And I thought to myself, okay, I don't want any other woman that looks like me to have to go through this alone. So when I get better, I'm going to do something about this. That started the journey of me and the Olive Branch of Hope.
The Olive Branch of Hope's office is situated on Indigenous land. This is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Wendat, and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. The Olive Branch of Hope gratefully acknowledges these Indigenous nations for their guardianship of this land. The Olive Branch of Hope also recognizes stolen people from across the world who have inhabited this land by force. Slavery prior to and including the transatlantic slave trade continuing through modern-day human trafficking have brought Indigenous people from across the globe to care for this land. We acknowledge the truth of our Canadian history and commit ourselves to reconciliation, knowledge, and careful intention. I invite you to take a moment of silence. Feel free to use this moment for prayer, memory of a loved one, or to set an intention for your engagement on this space. Thank you for holding this moment of silence with me.
Hello, good evening. We're on day 28 of 30 Days of the HERstory campaign, brought to you by 2114 Consultancy Services in partnership with the Olive Branch of Hope, our 2023 nonprofit partner. Now we want to get the word out as much as possible. So if you can just share the link that you're watching us on right now, just share it with your friends, family, tell a friend to tell a friend. We want as many people in as possible on this great initiative that we have and our special guest that we'll bring on in a moment. So the Olive Branch of Hope was actually founded over 20 years ago. So we have 20 years of supporting Black women in our communities in Canada and in the Caribbean. And so we're so proud of that. And so Leela Springer, founder and executive director of the Olive Branch of Hope, and the board are very thankful to everyone who has supported thus far the campaign over these past days and over the course of the month. And they would like to say a very special thank you to everyone who has watched, who has supported. And we continue today with a very special guest. We have Racquel on with us, and we're just going to bring her on. Hello, Racquel. Hi.
Hello, good evening.
How are you doing? We're so happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And I'm sorry, can you just tell me, is it Asantie?
Asantie.
Asantie. Okay,
Yes.
So beautiful. Where is that name from?
You know, I've been told that it's from Kenya. It's Swahili for thank you, I've been told.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Or Asantie.
Ah, Asantie. Okay, lovely, lovely. Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me here and having this platform so that other like-minded individuals can share their story and, their vision. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it's great to have you, and now that uh, we have you here, can you tell us a bit about yourself and really, what is Racquel about, and who is Racquel?
Yes, definitely. So, as you've heard, my name is Racquel Anthony. And growing up as a child, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents in St. Lucia during the summers. And they had a restaurant. And so I would always find myself in the restaurant or in the kitchen watching them seasoning food and, kneading dough and picking herbs and spices from the garden. And so that's where my love and passion for food was developed. And as I got older, I started to diversify my interests. And I would say that they went in four different places: food, children's studies, traveling, and real estate. So first, I went to school for child and youth work, and that really just made me see the inequities in our education system. And a lot of the teachers would, come and they would teach the students, but they would only be teaching to the students academics. And it's like, no, when you're teaching a child, you have to look at them as like a whole child. The child is a whole, and not just, academics are a small part of education, but they don't really teach you that in teachers' college. So when I finished child and youth worker, I continued on to pursue my degree and get a bachelor's of education. So
Mhm.
I was fortunate to work in Thailand for some time, and I really enjoyed my time there. And I would have stayed, but it was lacking diversity for me. So I left Thailand. I came back. I started teaching in Toronto. And, here, fast forward to the pandemic, and it's like ordering Uber Eats all the time. And it's like, I'm just not finding the right type of seasoning, the right type of food that I'm looking for. And so that's where my business, Elsa Catering, was born. So my company specializes in crab boils. Do you know what crab boils are?
Ooh.
Do you know what
No,
they
tell
are?
me, tell me.
Crab boils, it's like a predominantly like it's Southern cuisine. Um,
Mhm.
they like originate from Louisiana with like that Cajun seasoning. And so it's
Right.
got like crab, potatoes, shrimp, sometimes crawfish,
Oh,
lobster, potatoes and rice. And it's cooked in this beautiful Cajun seasoning and lots of butter.
yeah.
So I started the company El Cevichon on Instagram, and 98% of my um, my my
Following?
clients, yeah, the orders, they come from Instagram. So all my market is done through Instagram, all through social media. So listen, anybody can start a business. Okay, you just got to be passionate. Open up a page on Instagram and then just continue learning. If I could do it, anyone can do it. And so as the years have continued, we've grown. And so now what I want to focus on is putting my Cajun spice mix into the retail stores. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I really want to do. And I've just been accepted into Food Entrepreneurs program. It's a non-for-profit program that's dedicated to Black food entrepreneurs, and it's just helping us scale and grow our business. Because yeah, sometimes we could be good with food, and then sometimes it's like, oh, we're not the best with business, or sometimes you're good at business, not the best in your interest. So I know that I'm self-taught and I have no business background. And so getting accepted into this program means the world to me, because I know that I'm going to scale up, get that background business knowledge that I'm craving and needing so that I can expand my business. Moving on, I just bought a house last year. And so the house is 1 year old. It's around 30 minutes from Belleville. So it's east. And I've also put the house on Airbnb. Um, I'm a big believer in residual income, and my whole dream is to be able to make money while I'm sleeping. And so last summer, I was able to do that. I did a little tour. I volunteered in Bali at a turtle sanctuary for about, I was there for about 2 weeks, and then I was in Bali for another 2 weeks. Went to Thailand, then to London, then to Portugal, Ireland. And I was making money while I slept because
Yeah.
I had people coming into my Airbnb while I was traveling.
Yeah.
So that is a big, big dream of mine that's come true. And I'm so very excited. And moving forward, I've just applied to get my master's in social work and in counseling. So whatever accepts me is whichever way I'm going to go. And my dream now is to open up a virtual practice for Black therapists.
Oh. Oh wow. You just gave us so much, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Multifaceted, honey. You have to be multifaceted. Living in this world, this economy, you see how expensive groceries are?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And I look, let me tell you like just one thing. We are Caribbean sisters. I am from and in Barbados.
Hey,
I don't know how you're saying
Barbados.
your roots. So I'm very glad that has kind of cultivated in, your cooking and in your business. I think that is absolutely wonderful. And just in terms of from the business to masters, childhood education, you're quite the visionary woman, I must say. So I'm really I'm really glad that we're having this conversation and exchange right now. And I just wonder, in terms of all of your interests, do you feel like you want to have it all, and so you're pursuing everything, and that you're capable? Is that what it is? Like, you know what, Racquel, I believe in myself, and I like this, I'm gonna do this. What is it that really like gets you going, that wants you to dip into so many different interesting valuable things?
I think it all comes down to just being a multifaceted person who's interested in more than one things. I don't like routine. I don't want to, wake up every day, go to the I'm not a baby boomer. I'm not trying to be in the same job for like 40 years, 50 years, giving to one company. If I'm giving to that company for 50 years, it's going to be my own company. I want to work for myself. I want it to be done for us by us. Okay.
Right.
I want to get everything done. My dad was very much like business minded, and I think I got that business savviness from him. And
Yeah.
thankfully to COVID, like we saw we could do a lot of things on our own. We don't have to rely on these companies. Like we can rely on ourselves. We can work from homes. We can work from our computers. Like the world is yours and it's yours to take. So go out there and grab everything that belongs to you. Because if you're not going to do it for you, honey, no one's going to do it for you but yourself. So it's like, I want it all. And I'm not going to depend on anyone to get it for me. So I know I have to go out there and get it for myself.
Yeah. No, I'm loving this energy because I tap back a bit to having a focus on the Black community, really. You wanting to open for therapists, and I bet a lot of your clientele is also part of the Black community as well, because we resonate with food.
Yes.
Life revolves around food, and a lot of us are
like properly seasoned, like well seasoned food. That is so key.
Food. Yeah. So do you think, or is it that you resonate with, the Olive Branch of Hope? We're here in support of them, and they're catering to, very specifically Black women with cancer. And I wonder how much does that kind of resonate with you and wanting to contribute positively to your communities?
Absolutely. So very much so. I don't know what the actual statistic is, but there is a statistic that Black women, I think, are 3 times more likely to die while receiving support from the healthcare system because they're not treated as our equal counterparts of the Caucasian women. So specializing in giving back to the community, and not just any community, but your own community, is so important because you're paving the way for other people who are just like you that might not have those opportunities. But if you're supporting it, if you're giving back, you're lighting the way. You're providing support for someone in need. And I mean, what better feeling than giving back and allowing someone to do something that they may not be able to do if it wasn't for your help.
Yeah, exactly. And I know because you're in so many areas right now, and I get the just from our initial interaction that you're very outspoken, that you feel the need to be heard. And has there been any time though where you felt like your voice was diminished or even silenced as you pursued any of the various efforts that you're in right now?
So this is a tricky question because I don't necessarily feel like I was silenced, but I feel as though if I had a different upbringing and I had more access to more knowledge, I feel like I would have gotten further faster. I
Mm.
feel like, Black families, they don't really talk about finances and money and budgeting, right? So I feel like that held me back a little bit. And I felt like if I had more access to information, that I could be farther. And that's okay, even though that I didn't have as much as I
Yeah.
wanted to know. As I got older, I found different avenues to gain the access of knowledge by networking or going online or meeting different people. So I wouldn't say I was silenced. I would say that I wish I had kind of like a stepping stone where I can get support
Mhm.
from parents. God bless my parents. They're not rich and millionaires, and they're just kind of like, they have enough to take care and support themselves. But if we had excess money, I would, be able to go to, maybe more business courses. I would have more time. I would, I maybe wouldn't have to work, and maybe I could just, gain all this information. So I wouldn't necessarily say I've ever been silenced,
Mhm.
thankfully, in this industry. But I would more so say I was like someone like I attempted to silence me in like my own personal life, and that just made me realize that I never want to give someone the power over me. And
Yeah.
so it's like when someone's kind of coming and rescuing you and saving you, there'll always be this imbalance of power, and they'll always hold it over your head. So that really pushes me to be an independent woman who knows what she brings to the table. She brings the whole table. Okay.
Yeah.
So no one has to be like, oh, what are you bringing to the honey? I know what I'm bringing. I'm bringing the table. What are you?
Yeah.
You have to continue to
Yeah.
take care of yourself mentally and physically, to live a longer life, to feel better, to wake up better in the morning. So I'm doing all of this for me. I have no children. I am not married. I'm doing it for me. And if I decide to have children, then hey, they will benefit from it as well. But I believe in being your own Prince Charming. You want to marry a rich doctor? No, you be that rich doctor. Okay. So I have this
Yeah.
mentality of like, waiting for, this person who's going to rescue me. And I had a taste of that. And it's like, no, 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 no. You're just going to be in prison. Okay. You're going to be in a beautiful prison. And you don't want that. So be independent, have your own money, have your education, and nobody can ever,
Take that.
ever take it away. No one can take my degrees. I got my degrees. They got my name on it. No one can take them away. So just make sure that you continue to make yourself better and
Yeah.
invest in yourself. That's all. Invest in yourself.
Yeah. I feel like that was so popular, hearing that growing up. No one can take your degree away from you, no one can take your education, and how important that is for women, and
Yes.
then for Black women, specifically, right? To
Yes.
make sure that we get our undergrad degrees, we get our masters, because we have so much more. Yeah, we have so much more opportunity and going for us. When we expand our horizons like that, and that was one piece of advice that I really took, and I think that you took as well. And
Mhm.
what, in addition, would you want to? I know you spoke about finances, and wishing you had, probably greater backing with regard to money and growing up. But what might you tell little Racquel that you know now that you kind of wish you had known then, growing up?
Absolutely. It's called delayed gratification. Okay. you want, you don't need to have it now. I was very much like instant, I want this and I want that, designer this, designer that. But how is that helping you? How
Mm-hmm.
are you growing? How are you investing in yourself? If you buy yourself a new purse, okay, sure. Or you could take that money and you can invest it in a stock. If you love Louis and you love Gucci so much, invest in LVMH stock. Okay, invest in that type of stock. Don't just go out there and take everything you see.
Mm-hmm.
Budgeting.
Budgeting. Yep.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If there's no budget, how do you know where your money's going? Pay off your credit cards, I would say to myself. Pay off your credit cards. Budget and delayed gratification, because it's not everything that glitters is gold. It's not everything that you see you need right now. Hold off. Save some money. Make sure you can pay your bills before you can buy that Gucci purse. Like it's just so dumb, you know? And if you can't buy something 3 times over, don't buy it. I know it's so easy to be infatuated with designer. And let me tell you, I love my designer as well, but I made sure I have a house.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got my
Priority.
home, I've got my priority, I've got my asset. And now the money that I make for my home, I can go out and spend it on, if I want, a little Louis Vuitton, a little Gucci, a little Prada, because that's not my money. That's, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that's the investment, you
Yeah.
know? So just don't use your own money to buy stupid things like designer. Please invest in stocks and, you know, budget your money. That's what I would really say.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, those are key things because, as you were saying, just talking about finances can be a little uncomfortable, in families and communities. And so that,
Especially when you don't have a lot, people feel ashamed.
yeah, yeah, talking about it, yeah, can be a source of shame. You might not have enough to invest, and it's like, what am I doing in this conversation? And you feel less than.
Mhm,
But the conversations to get there are also important, right?
mhm,
So in order to, get there, you actually have a vision for yourself
mhm,
and what you want to
mhm,
achieve for you, for your family. I know you talked about, if you have a future family.
mm.
So what then is the importance of vision for you?
Oh, for sure. For me, vision gives me a sense of direction in order to fulfill or achieve my goals. And once we understand kind of like our purpose, I feel as though our life becomes more clear, more focused, because we know what we want. And when you can create and follow habits that bring you
Mhm.
closer to your vision and purpose, then it's just that much easier to attain it. So, some of my habits include yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily goals.
Yeah.
And these help me stay on track. I don't know if it's like a teacher thing in me, but if I need a list every day of what I have to do, just because I will be so scattered. You know, I forget things so quickly. I'll grab my phone. I'll be like, oh, what was I supposed to be doing again? So I make sure that I write down my list and of
Mhm.
my goals, whether it be weekly, monthly. It's just being aware. If you have no goals, like what are you doing with yourself? Like how are you moving forward? If you don't have a yearly goal, like what are you reaching for? How are you working towards it? What are you working towards? Like I just cannot be one of those people that are just coasting through life with no goals. Like I just feel like I need goals so that I know when I achieve my goals, I'm going in the right direction. And if I don't achieve my goals, then it's like, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? How can I achieve this? What can I do better? Right. So for me, it's important to stay on track, and it's important to know how you spend your time, how you spend your energy, how you spend your resources. All of these things can contribute to, you know, moving us one step closer to our dreams, our goal. And it's just one step further ahead of where we were yesterday.
Yeah. And I like how you spoke about it, about a kind of iterative process. Like you take a step back and, like, maybe I didn't do the best at this point, and maybe I can do better here. And you spoke about direction for vision, as in, it directs you where you need to go. So what is it like when maybe you realize that you can do better or something went wrong? How do you kind of navigate or get back on track? How do you feel about, having to take that pause or anything? Is it difficult? Is it welcomed?
Okay, so for me, I went on this big health journey. So it's like, I know what makes me happy, and that's working out, eating right, like a balance of working out and eating right. That makes me happy. Mentally and physically, it makes me happy. And so when I start to tilt or get off balance, I could feel it right away. I'm very aware of my body and how I'm feeling because I'm very energetic. I'm very bubbly. And so if I'm not that, people can tell right away because I wear my emotions on my sleeve or whatever they say. So as soon as I start to feel like I'm not balanced, right away, I'm like, oh, no. I need to either go to the spa. I need to go work out. I need to go grocery shopping and prep my meal so that I'm eating right. I need to book a workout class. I need to make a schedule of when I'm going to be working out, what I'm going to be doing, and who I'm going to be going with, because I don't like to feel unbalanced. I am a Libra. I like to make sure I am perfectly balanced. And really and truly, I welcome it. If I'm off track, I welcome the feelings of uneasiness and disgust. So it's like you need to get your behind back on track so you can get to a place where you're balanced and you're feeling good in and out of your body. And, you are setting good examples because not all my friends are health conscious. And a lot of them just, my friends, they kind of want to do the same thing. And it's like, we really got to get out of this routine of just going out to eat dinner or just going out to party. Like there's so much more in life that you can do that will fill your cup and fill your soul and it'll make you so happy. Like even just volunteering at a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
You think you're having a bad day, volunteer at a soup kitchen. I will tell you, you will come out of there feeling so good and so grateful and practicing gratitude, my friends. That is key because it's so easy to be like, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have that. And then it becomes this negative cycle in our mind that makes us depressed. And it's like, oh, no, I'm not good when I'm depressed. I get real ugly. So it's like, okay, let me do what I got to do. Let me find ways to make myself happy because you know what, at the end of the day, you are the only one that is in charge of your happiness. I learned that around 5 years ago. I am in charge of my happiness. No one else is in charge of my happiness. So make yourself happy, doing the things that you love to do, eat well, work out, get fresh air, invest, budget, be kind, people, be kind.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't take much to be kind. Give somebody a compliment. Okay. Smile at someone. Your life will be so much better.
Yeah. No, these are some gems because it's like you think that I like the perspective. I mean, generally, you say comparison is the thief of joy. But when we think about what we're doing and things that might get us down or anything like that, it really puts it into perspective, thinking about how much you have. And that attitude of gratitude that you spoke about, very, 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 very important, I think. And so when we think about, this might not be going our way, that might not be going our way. When we think about what is going our way, I think that can be like a good boost for you getting to where you need to go, Yeah. So I was thinking about, well, I think you gave us so much in the first for the first question, because all that you're working on and all that you're doing, I think, and this is only like up until now, so your story is already so robust and so wonderful and so creative. And I'm wondering, how does it feel, and how good is it, or how is it to tell your version of your story to others, and to share, and to have that be said in like your own words?
I would say it feels absolutely amazing and incredible. And I didn't think that I would even be here. I thought, I went to college and maybe I would just be a child and youth worker for the rest of my life. But the fact that I didn't, because when I was in high school, I wasn't applied. I wasn't an academic. And so applied meant that you were going to college. And my mom's dream was just for me to go to university. Like that was it. Like she didn't even say, I want you to be successful in life. Her whole thing was, oh, I want you to go to university. So it was a big deal for me to just go to university. And so just getting that done and accomplishing everything that I have accomplished and taking the control of the narrative makes me feel strong, makes me feel independent, because I'm not just another statistic. I never wanted to be another statistic because I have a vision of who I am and what I want and where I want to be. And I wouldn't have gotten this far if I were to just listen to maybe my circle in high school, or maybe people that I've dated who weren't so nice. If I were just to listen to them and stay complacent, then I would most definitely be a statistic. But it's because I chose to surround myself with positive and influential people. And even if they're not my friends, it's the people that I follow on social media. They're very influential. And so it's like, I know what I can do. I know that I can get far. I know I can do anything that I put my mind to. And because I have this vision, I believe in myself, which propelled me to greater heights, new experiences, and it just kept me pushing for more and more knowledge and more understanding. I believe in lifelong learning, and I feel like we have so much to learn. And I've got an eternity of learning to accomplish. And I'm ready to just soak in all of the knowledge because that's how you grow, right? Like we don't have all the answers. And I love just learning from other people who are in the business industry or the food industry, and like just listening to how they got to where they were, how they were able to move forward, during difficult times. And that also gives me inspiration and just makes me believe that, I'm writing my own story and the story's not done. It's just getting started.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. There's this much right now. So there's probably going to be like this much at the end. And I like, that you had for yourself the wider perspective of, it's not just about school or anything like that. You talked about, successful at life, or what does that then mean to you? Like what do you see being successful at life being?
That's a great question. It's a great question. Everyone's definition of success is so different, and half the time, like I would be like, oh, success is money, but it's just like, okay, like what about it? What are you doing with it? You know what I mean? It's not, anyone can have money. It's not about having money. And success to me looks like I'm in a place where I'm mentally and physically doing well, I'm balanced, and I'm happy. Success to me looks like traveling to different places while I have my my own practice for Black therapists. Happiness and success looks like being financially independent, because we can have money, but if we don't know how to make the money work for us, we're going to be working for the money.
Yeah.
And so to be at a place where money and I have a good relationship would ultimately mean success for me. I also want to be able to give back to all the communities that I plan on living in. I'm very nomadic. I just want to travel the world and work. And I always want to make sure that I'm giving back to the communities that I'm in, whether it be building a house, teaching English, working at a hospital or in a turtle sanctuary, whatever I can do to give back and, show this community that, hey, I'm not just continuously taking from you people. I'm actually giving back because I'm so proud and I'm so happy that I'm here. It's very
Mm-hmm.
important to do so. And we often forget about that, right? We get rich and then it's like, we forget, we forget where
Yeah.
we come
We just
from,
want
or
to
we
splurge and do everything we
I
dreamed
just want to
about.
splurge. It's like, no, 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 no. You have to give back because that's
Yeah.
really and truly richness. You want to be rich, then you got to give back. And so
Yeah.
that's what success looks like for me. Happiness and being financially free and giving back to the community.
Yeah, and I get the gist that you are very good at identifying need and just kind of acting on it based on,
Mm.
your experiences, your skills, what you've picked up along the way. And has that always been, a part of you as long as you can
Absolutely.
remember? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much like an empath. And
Hmm.
so I feel really deep.
Yeah.
And when people tell me things, I feel for them. And so I really have to protect my energy because it can be sucked up so quickly. And so
Yeah.
I feel like growing up with Caribbean grandparents, it was kind of like instilled in you, like you must do good, you must be quiet, you must be seen and not heard. And so sometimes actually those things can backfire on you,
Yeah.
because telling a child they have to be seen and not heard makes them like submissive. And then I see how people can then try and use that against you, and so by trying to take advantage, right, of someone that's submissive. So I definitely wouldn't recommend telling your kids that they should be seen and not heard, but I would definitely say it's from my background of having my Caribbean parents like instill discipline in me is really and truly how I learned to just be an empath and just to find a void and
Yeah.
fill it however
Yeah.
whatever somebody needs. Like you just got to support, you have to help, you have to give back, and then you get so much. Like God's going to bless you 10 times, 10
Yeah.
times over if you just choose to help someone who maybe doesn't have as much as you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like that because what is it? The story about the talents and the person who, buried their talent and then the one who multiplied them. I think that you're doing a really good job of multiplying yours in so many different areas and touching so many different communities. So I must commend you on that. And just if you had to say a word to any woman who isn't feeling enough or is doubtful of themselves, like what would you say to her or them to like really get them into the spirit of, you know what, I'm me, I bring me, and I can do it?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Okay, what would I say to a woman who just needed some support and
Yeah.
some drive?
Yeah.
I would say that we as women are so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And although at times we can have our crown knocked down, the main and important thing is to remember that we can always get back up, whether that be if someone reaches out a hand or not. Being independent and doing it on your own, it doesn't matter where you are or how you get there, or if you're in a bad place, you can always pick yourself up. You always have the opportunity to make yourself a better, well balanced person living a healthy lifestyle, because it is up to you. Nobody else is going to come pick you up, take you to the gym, make you do the workout so you're feeling better, make you eat clean. You alone
Yep.
do it for yourself. You alone, and you have to depend on you and yourself to get the job done. And if you can't do it, you can reach out for support. There is so much support. If you don't want to reach out to your friends and families, reach out to a group. You can reach out to, so like I created this group
Mm-hmm.
just because I felt as though I wasn't finding friends who wanted to do the same things or have the same interests as me, like working out and financial education. So I just made a group, and I've just been adding people to the group through this group on Facebook. And it's just like, you do your own thing. You don't wait for someone to come and be your hero or save you. You get up and you pick yourself up and you do it for yourself. Because like I said, no one's going to be able to do it for you. You're the only one that could do it for yourself. So pick yourself up, dust yourself off, figure out your plan, where you want to be, and then figure out your goals of how you're going to get there. Because I know if you do that, you will get there, you will succeed, and you'll be the woman that you want to be.
Yeah. No, I like, again, with addressing the need of common light people. I'm making that Facebook group, for like-minded people who are into financial education and health again. But also, I like what you said, you kind of, even though there's support at our disposal, but also, picking yourself up and doing it for you. Because I find that's the best way to approach things, when you do it for yourself, when you have that inner, innate motivation, when you have that inner calling to do something, is when you really, give it your all and really press on and make sure that you reach that goal or that you get the job done, as opposed to, someone kind of like, you need to do this, you need to, it's not as effective, is it, when it comes from someone else?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, exactly. So when we think about, what we want to do or the vision that we have, that's why it comes from us, right? Because we have that vision for ourselves, or it's laid on our heart to do such and such with our life, and to get there and to go through, the different experiences, meet the different people, do the different things to get and arrive at that vision, and go in the right direction, as you were saying earlier. Yeah.
100%. I
Yeah.
couldn't do any. You said it perfectly.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, and so I know that we had spoken a little bit about your business prior, but just in terms of that element of building community as well, through food and the response with that, do you want to talk a little bit about your business and how that has, if you've done that throughout your travels and that sort of stuff, if there's anything else that you would like to mention about that?
Yes. So starting my business was life-changing, because it's like, I'm finally working for myself. I am creating these opportunities to pave the way for Black food owners in Toronto. And, just going on my travels and also meeting other chefs. It's really, really, really cool to interact and see where they get their inspiration from. And, even building a relationship and then importing, let's say, different spices from different countries and using them in my own company is so cool. And I love networking with people, because you just never know, and then also, it's great because you get to really be creative and try different things. For example, someone asked me to create a vegan menu, and I was able to do that by creating like plant-based crab cakes and vegan Cajun aioli. And so it was such a hit that I added it. Yeah, I added it to my menu that I'm going to be working on with the Foodtrepreneur. And it's just like, people just ask, and you try, you're creative, and then you just grow something that's so beautiful. And it's like, wow, I love being able to be so creative with my business and give to my clients what they want and what they're looking for. So I love how versatile it is being a business owner. And you guys can check us out at elsavichon.catering on Instagram and Facebook. And then we also have a website, which is just www.elsavichoncatering.com. And along the line, since I'm promoting my businesses, my beautiful property on the water, it's 2 hours away from Toronto in the east. It is also called the Blue River Cabin on Airbnb. You can rent it out. August is completely sold out, so try your luck with July. And do I have any other businesses? Yes, my catering and my property. yes, that is what I've got for my businesses.
Yeah. So definitely I'm you don't ship to Barbados. We need to rectify that, Racquel. We need to
Yes, I'm gonna
get
have to.
some,
I'm gonna have to send you some spices. I can ship my spices.
you can
So
ship the spice.
yes, I can. So you give me your address, and I will ship you a container of my
Oh, I
Cajun
love
seasoning.
that. Yes, and I'll definitely have to look forward to seeing if I could book your highly booked Airbnb whenever
Me,
I'm in Toronto.
anytime you want to come, it's on me. You can stay.
Oh,
I mean, it's like during the week in the summer, not as busy. On the weekends are busy, but anytime you have a home in Canada, Toronto, 2 hours away from Toronto, beautiful cottage. Anytime you want, you just let me know.
yes, and no, I think that that's so beautiful of you. I love to see it, and I just know, when you said that coming out of pandemic is when you really started your business, and that sense of rising from difficulty, pandemic, a lot of businesses didn't make it, and then there were such beautiful success stories like yours that came out of it, that kind of rose and pivoted. So I'm so happy that you're able to have these two flourishing businesses that support you, that support your community, and that will hopefully support your family to come, right? And so with all that you have been successful at, that you've achieved, can you paint for us the picture that you see when you hear the word victory? What is
Yeah.
victory like in your head?
For sure. Victory for me means that all my businesses will be successful and I'll be a well-balanced person mentally and physically, so that I am happy and I am living in different places and I have different properties all over the world, and I'm just bouncing from each of them while I work on my practice. That is what I could see it. That is what victory means for me. It
Yeah.
means all of the hard work that I've been putting in is finally going to pay off, and I'm just going to flourish and just be grateful, and eternally happy.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't think you can lose with that mindset of, you know what, I'm grateful for all that I have, for all that I've accomplished thus far, right?
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. So, do you have any parting words for our sisters and others who will be watching, or either watching now or will watch in the future? Do you have any parting words for them?
Yeah, I would say don't ever give anyone your power,
Mm-hmm.
and do what you need to do to invest in yourself to be successful, so you don't ever have to depend on anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. And just along added that to all the other gems that you dropped tonight. You can tell that it really was a lot of learning to get to this point, and the fact that you're so open to sharing with others, I think is absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Racquel. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I had such a great chat, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with you.
Yes, yes, for sure. For sure. And for now, we want to connect all those watching with the Hey Sister website, which they can go to heysisterherstory.ca for the co-branded items that we have with the Olive Branch of Hope, because the proceeds are going towards helping support Black women get the medical devices that they need after breast cancer treatment. And that's what this is all about, right? We have a community that is in need, and we have the Olive Branch of Hope who is picking up that need and getting the support to these women. So you can go to the website that's at the bottom of your screen, buy any of the co-branded items. You can also donate as well. And if you donate, we will send you something. We will send you a free gift with your donation. So there's no way to miss out here. So just go to the website. You can purchase or donate. and we will definitely have something for you. Also, if you are in the GTA area on April 2nd, the Olive Branch of Hope will have their gala there as well. You can find that information at the Olive Branch of Hope on Instagram or on our HERstory page at HERstory by 2114. You can find more information on that so you can support them that way as well. So, like I was saying, Racquel, a pleasure to have you, and good night, everybody.
Thank you
Stay
so
well.
much. Bye.
First of all, I always thought that breast cancer was a white woman's disease. I didn't know that black women got breast cancer, and that was mainly because all the promotions featured white women. So I just thought, oh, black women don't get this. And then, lo and behold, I was diagnosed with stage 3 advanced breast cancer. I thought after that, I finished with the IV and the chemo, that I was going to go home. I didn't know I had to take additional not over-the-counter, but prescription drugs. And I went, and it was quite expensive. And I thought to myself, okay, what do poor people do? How do women that look like me, that is less fortunate than I am, how do they make it? How do they find the money to pay for this prescription, take care of their families, cover all their finances? That must be so difficult for them. And then I was at home one morning feeling, terrible after chemotherapy treatment. Couldn't get off the bed. It was terrible. And I thought to myself, okay, I don't want any other woman that looks like me to have to go through this alone. So when I get better, I'm going to do something about this. That started the journey of me and the Olive Branch of Hope.